Hi guys, Vanessa here. So today's video is going to be me doing this full face of drugstore makeup. I have basically tried out some new products and also applied even my drugstore favorites that I truly love. But I feel like this guy's the star of the show. This is the Catrice HD Coverage Foundation. And I wanted to test her out because I've heard about her. She's really inexpensive. And I just thought I'd give this foundation a try. So that's what we did in today's video. If you guys would like to see my drugstore favorites and some new drugstore items I purchased, then just keep on watching. So before I go in with foundation, I did go ahead and apply my Poreless Putty Primer by e.l.f. I do find that this primer does what it claims. It does give me a smooth canvas underneath my foundation. It does help cover my enlarged pores, which I find it being more on my T-zone along the nose. So I did go ahead and already apply that off camera. I have been liking that. And then for foundation, I picked up this Catrice HD liquid foundation. I got this in the shade Golden Beige. I was intrigued when I saw Kathleen Lights here on YouTube speak about this foundation. I believe it was in her like drugstore favorites. So I did want to try this guy out. What's intriguing about this foundation is that it comes out in a like dropper format. So I do enjoy that right off the bat. Let's try her out. Ooh. Hopefully the color is not too way off from my skin tone. It's a little golden. It's a little warm, but that's okay. We can make it work with my concealer and my foundation. We can make it work with my concealer and bronzer. We can kind of even out the foundation. So if I find that my foundation's a little too warm, I will go in with a lighter concealer just because I kind of want to balance things out and kind of help that foundation match my skin tone the best that I can. It doesn't look too bad once it's on. I feel like it's matching my neck pretty well, so we'll see at the end. Let me go ahead and apply that. So have you guys tried out this foundation? Please let me know in the comments down below. Or what are your favorite drugstore foundations? I'm interested in picking up new foundations. I know I've tried the Milani Long Lasting foundation. I think it's the Correct and Conceal and Correct, I believe it's called. I do like that Milani. I just don't like the shade range in that particular foundation line, just because I feel like the undertones are a little bit off. But I feel like if you kind of mix and match and you maybe buy like 2 different shades, I feel like you can get your true color. So in person, it's looking pretty good. It is matching my neck pretty well. On camera, I feel like it's kind of showing true to color as well. So I do like this foundation. So far, so good. We will see. Right off the bat, I'm noticing that it's maybe like a satin finish. It's not going on matte, but it's not going on dewy. I feel like it's a nice satin. I'm going to build up that coverage just to kind of see how much coverage, if it's buildable coverage. Just to see if it's buildable coverage, I'm going to apply more foundation. Yeah, I feel like it gave me definitely a full coverage with that second layer. This is what the cheek looks like with one layer. So I'm going to apply one more layer. So you would think with that liquidy consistency that it would not layer very well, or that it'd be too kind of like liquidy where it kind of like just slip off the face. But I don't find that being the case. It does definitely have full coverage, so it does claim what it says. as far as being full coverage. Wow, I do love how my base is looking right now. This foundation is looking really pretty. So I think I'm going to be using this foundation quite frequently. So I definitely see why Kathleen Lights was talking about this in her drugstore haul. Or I think it was drugstore favorites, but I can see why. Like, it's pretty coverage, it's not so matte, doesn't like emphasize texture. I'm not noticing anything like that yet. Like I said, it's like a satin finish. Of course, if you want it to be more matte, or if you want to just apply powder on your T-zone, then you can just do that. If you want to mattify everything, then of course you can apply powder everywhere else on the face. So for powder, I need your recommendations in the comments down below. Let me know what powders you guys love from the drugstore. I know in the past I have loved the Airspun powder, translucent powder. I will clip it somewhere here on the screen, what that powder looks like, but I don't have it with me right now. So I'm going to be using the Ben Nye powder, setting powder in the shade Fair. This one isn't, of course, drugstore, but you can purchase it on Amazon, which is pretty accessible. So I did want to include my favorite powder. I just haven't repurchased my Airspun. I think that's what it's called, Airspun powder. But like I said, I'll put it somewhere here on the screen so you guys can see what it looks like. I have used that powder and I have repurchased it in the past. I just don't have it, like I said. But it is a good powder. But I'm open to suggestions in the comments if you guys know any translucent powder that you guys may like. Please let me know so I can try some out. So as always, I'm just setting the under eye, my eyelids, because when I get sweaty or greasy throughout the day, naturally I'll get some creasing on the eyelids. So I'll powder my nose. And I'm going to wipe that off with a fluffy brush. So for bronzer, my favorites have been the Milani. This one I have purchased about, this is the second time I repurchased it. But I have been loving this Milani what is this? This is a Sun Kissed bronzer. It's a silky matte bronzer. I love the tone, that it's a cool tone, so I love that I can chisel and contour with this bronzer. Another one that I love from the drugstore, sorry, is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This has been also a cult favorite. So I do love this one. I would recommend this one if you're looking for a drugstore bronzer. And then the most recent find that I mentioned in my last drugstore haul was the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer. Out of the three, this is the most affordable. This is about $6. The most expensive one is going to be the Physicians Formula. It's, I think, like $15. It's like $15 on the market. And then this one averages around $10, the Milani one on the market. But I did want to show you guys that you can tell that I really love the undertones in all my bronzers. These are all drugstore, but they all have something in common. They're all pretty neutral tone, if you can see on camera. This one's coming off a little warm, so if you're looking for, you know, the most affordable and also something to kind of give you warmth to the face, I definitely would go in with the e.l.f. bronzer. Today I'm going to be using my Milani Silky Matte bronzer, just because I do really love this bronzer, and it's one I use basically on the daily. I don't even really go in with my more higher end bronzers. I have been using this one for well over, maybe I want to say a year. I want to say well over a year. Okay, so that's what the bronzer looks like. Like I said, it's very cool tone, so it's very neutral undertones, but I do like that it gives me still some warmth to the face. So I have been loving that bronzer. I don't have a highlight that I have found in the drugstore. I also need your recommendations for future videos, or, you know, just highlights that I should try out. I don't have any that I can recommend because all my highlights that I have that I own are not affordable. They're not drugstore. So I am on the hunt for a drugstore highlight. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below. I just haven't come across, like I said, any that I have personally said that I truly love. So I won't be applying a highlight today. But for blush, I have picked this one up last. It's my Burt's Bees blush in the shade Shy Pink. It's like a very light bubblegum pink. It is looking a little bit deeper pink on camera, but I do feel like you can apply this even if you're a deeper skin tone complexion than I am. This still will work. And then my Toasted Cinnamon is more if you're maybe 1 to 2 shades darker than me in complexion. But I would say if you're a little bit deeper complexion, I wouldn't say this necessarily would work for you. I'm not quite sure, but this is the shade Toasted Cinnamon. This has basically been the one that I've had. And then, like I said in my last haul, I picked up Shy Pink. They also have another shade that's, I believe it's called Bare Peach. I want to pick her up too. She's from the same line, the Burt's Bees cosmetic line. I believe they're infused with vitamin E. They do give like a seamless pigment. I don't see any like breaking up on the skin or anything like that. I don't see anything like that throughout the day. Okay, for brows, we're going to go ahead and do brows. I'm going to use my favorite drugstore pencil. It's the NYX Micro Brow. I have recently talked about in my last video as well. I will mention it in case you didn't see that video. It's the Brow Lift Pencil by e.l.f. I don't have it here with me, but I will link it in the bottom bar down below. But I have been loving that pencil. It's just a little bit different. I would compare this one to like a Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. Rather than that one, I would kind of compare it to the definer, but without having that triangular shape at the tip. Okay, so here's what the brows look like. I don't do nothing crazy to them because I do like that natural brow that's still going around. And I do have decent amount of brow hair. I just like to kind of fill it up a little bit. You get me? So for the eyes, let's go in with the eyes. I wanted to pick up, or actually, I picked up both of these. My last haul, I used the Very Bad. This is the Bite Size 4-pan palettes by e.l.f. But I wanted to try out Pumpkin Spice. Because you know I love my warm tone eyeshadows. So I wanted to do a quick, easy look. And I feel like I would use this palette on the daily. I've just been saving it to show it on camera with you guys. But I feel like I would use this daily because, I mean, to whip a quick eye, it's something that you can just pick up and it's not hard to think about what you're going to use or what shadows you're going to combine on the eyelids. Okay, so when you open her up, she looks like this. Super simple. I'm going to show you what I'm doing on the eyes because this is what I would whip up if I were to do a quick, like, 2-minute eyeshadow look. I would go in with this transition shade right here. Go in a little bit above the crease of the eye. I would just wipe that across in windshield wiper motions. Kind of drag it out at the end. Flicker her out. You know? And then keep going in. Apply a little bit down now. You just kind of bring it down along the edge of the outer part of the eye. Now I'm going to pick up this, this shade right here. Kind of just deepening things up a bit on the outer part of the eye. Going in back with the previous brush I used. Not picking up any shadow, just basically going back in and diffusing those 2 shades at the outer part of the eye. I'm going to go for a very bronzy look, so I'm going to pick up this shade right here up top. This was more like a golden shade, gonna go with this shade right here. And I'm gonna pick it up with my finger. I'm just gonna pick it up with my finger and place it right above that eyelid. Look how pretty that looks. Okay, and that is the eyes with just a quick shimmery shade right across the lid. I applied that with my finger. It completely makes it look like I tried harder than I actually did. So for mascara, I have my two favorite mascaras from the drugstore. I have my Lash Paradise mascara from L'Oreal, and I have my Lash Lift mascara by Maybelline. These are my two favorites. I did used to buy the Black Drama Falsies by Maybelline before this guy came out, but I have been repurchasing this one, so I have been trying her out. This is probably like my 4th, 5th tube that I've repurchased, and I do like this one. I will still go back to my Falsies. The only thing that I don't like about drugstore mascaras, and let me know if you feel the same way, I feel like they don't last like they used to. I feel like they get really dry and clumpy very fast. So that's the only thing I don't like about drugstore mascaras. But again, for the price, I mean, they are way cheaper than to be purchasing a $22, $24, $26 mascara. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, these work great. I love them. All you need is a nice lash curler and a good mascara from the drugstore, and your lashes will look good. I was just thinking, wow, I'm like really pulling off a monochromatic eye face look. I have never really done this before, but I mean, this blush really ties in this whole look together. And I'm totally feeling it right now. So for lips, let's see. For lips, I wanted to go in with my favorite lip pencils. They're by NYX. These are the slide-on pencils. They're really creamy. So I have noticed that I basically have built up a collection of these pencils, but I do like this one just because it's a very nice warm brown. So I feel like it suits my nudes very perfectly. Then for my lip, I'm going in with my Day to Night e.l.f. little lip duo. I've been living for this nude ever since I used it in my last video as well. I did a haul for drugstore makeup. Hey, let's bring that back down. This reminds me of a MAC lipstick. I just can't pin it yet on which shade this would be. I want to say taupe. It's a little bit too deep or warm to be Yash by MAC, but it's totally giving me MAC vibes. Basically all done. I'm going to set my face right now just a sec with some setting spray. Let me just go in and comb in my brows really quick, making sure they're not looking crazy. Because that's another thing I'm on the hunt for. So let me know if you guys have any suggestions for a brow gel. I have always used Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel. I want to say basically once COVID hit, I kind of stopped using brow gel. I go very minimal on my eyebrows, but I am looking for a drugstore version or drugstore brow gel just because I don't feel like I don't need to. Let me know if you guys are feeling like this, but why should I spend so much on my makeup when you only see like half my face? And then I come home and then I want to take it all off. Anyone else agree? So if I can find an affordable version of the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel, I'm all for it. So yeah. So on that note, let's go in with the e.l.f. setting spray. This is one of my favorites. I have talked about this guy time and time again. An affordable option would be my Morphe one, but that's not sold at drugstore. So this guy it is. I feel like I'm not looking matte by no means, but you know, just a little bit can help with the hydration. especially during these cool winter months. Okay guys, so that completes today's look. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me and watching me apply my favorite drugstore products, and also trying out this new Catrice HD liquid foundation. I feel like for a foundation, I can't give you my true thoughts until I've tested it and worn it more, because I do want to see how it breaks down throughout the day when the oil seep in through my nose and things like that. But at the moment, I will tell you that I do love the coverage. I like that it's not drying on the skin, it's not mattifying by no means. So if you guys like any more of these videos, me doing more drugstore makeup hauls or anything like that, please give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!